Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the MorphinCast. I am your host, Tenacious T, aka Tatsukawa. My co-host from the MorphinCast, the Merc with the Mic.
Yep.
I am happy to state this is the first time that I ever did the introduction to the MorphinCast.
So I thought
I appreciate it, bro. You know what I mean? Like this has been our ongoing thing.
This is our baby.
This is the creme de la creme. This is what made us.
This is the starting point. Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean?
100%. So today's cast, we're celebrating 30 years of Power Rangers.
Yes.
And we thought about doing a top 10 of just what we love about Power Rangers.
What makes Power Rangers
to us?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, me and you both have like a similar feel of what we enjoyed, and you can go and check those previous casts. We got 7 years worth of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them up there.
And you've been periodically, recently, reissuing them out into the world.
Yes, I have, because just get some algorithm going and stuff like that.
It also shows the progression of where we started and where we are now.
From recording from my phone to actually mics and everything.
Hey, listen, man, it's been a long time, and I cheers you for that.
Cheers.
I cheers you for that. I don't even have a beer.
Yeah, you do. We're 2 out there on top.
Oh yeah, shit. I didn't even pay attention. Just shows you. But as always, the unsponsored sponsors of the MorphinCast, Lagunitas. So let me pour this bad boy in. Let me make sure you can hear the pour.
Yeah.
But thank you for this. This is legitimately not even a podcast. This is a brotherhood amongst me and you.
Yeah.
This was a conversation you and I had 7 years ago. Actually, no, 9 years ago. That iterated into a cast that started next month, seven years ago.
We went through the whole thing of Power Rangers once. We're going through it right now the second time, along with the Super Sentai. We added Super Sentai to it.
Which is, first and foremost, before we even start, the difference between Super Sentai and America. Tell me how you feel about that.
It's night and day. It's two different
yin and fucking yang, right?
No, 100%. I think with the Japanese, with Super Sentai, they're more what we want into what Power Ranger is now.
Yeah.
As we're getting in the comic books.
I like the way you worded that, because that's perfect.
Exactly what we're getting in the comic books is that's what the Sentai brought us.
Yeah. As
in the show is going to be more kiddie because it's catered to kids.
It's Americanized. Bro.
Yeah, and 100%. Like, I'm watching a kids show and I understand that, so that's the reason like that. But I'm going to have my critiques, but I see what it's going for. But is the Sentai being is the comic book what we really want into a show, and I think that's what the Sentai brings.
So the comic book is what we want, but what we have is what we grew up with.
Yeah.
So nostalgia plays a very important part in this cast.
It stopped with me.
Talk about that.
Nostalgic stopped with me when I started realizing how bad the nostalgic was.
Rewatching Mighty Morphin.
Season 3 was fucking
hands
dreadful.
down.
Half of season 2 was dreadful.
It's like puking in my mouth, bro. It was
so
horrible.
When us going through it the second time, nostalgia left the building. I don't have nostalgia. I don't have those extra things.
I agree.
I go by what I've watched, and I go by what storyline they gave me, and if I'm intrigued into the storyline. As a hint, SPD is number 1 right now. The reason why is the fact that it had a consistent story, it brought very good characters, and a bit like that. Ninja Storm is like top 5 because they brought good characters, they brought good story, and they build around what they had.
So you actually watched all the series before we started this podcast?
Yeah, 100%.
You did?
Yeah.
So like for me, I stopped at Turbo.
Yeah,
I would say.
I think that was the conversation we had before we did it. Is that we were talking about Power Rangers and stuff like that. I was like, have you ever watched Space? Have you ever watched SPD? And you told me no. I was like, those are the ones you should watch.
But I do remember the 3, 3, 5.
Yeah.
I do remember that because my brother was still watching it kind of at that time. You know what I mean?
And that's what brought up the conversation of me and you got cool with like us Power Rangers, things like that.
I'm gonna be honest, like throughout my life, I thought Power Rangers died off.
Yeah.
And then periodically through life, I saw that on the TV screen, it was, the next episode of this. I'm like, holy shit, Power Rangers is still going. Never in my mind would I ever think that I would have been a part of this.
Yeah.
For 7 years. Not necessarily stating that me and you wouldn't have done something, but the fact of doing it on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Just that idea alone. Same thing with Not a Trekkie doing. You were skeptical about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I still to today don't know if you're a Star Wars fan at all. I really don't, because you are a person who speaks his mind and feels, and sees what he likes. You know what I mean? What we have accumulated through the last 7 years, we've ran through every single season up to what? What are we up to? What did I didn't watch? I know it was like 2 seasons ago.
So the only ones we
Beast
have
Morphers.
So we haven't watched Beast Morphers, and we haven't watched Dawn of Fury yet.
Yeah, but
those are the 2 new seasons that we have not watched.
So
Everything
we
else
stopped
we
at Beast
Ninja
Morphers,
Steel.
Ninja Steel.
Ninja
part
Steel was
1
the
and
last
part
one.
2.
Yeah.
And then we decided to go back and dive in
to the
Super
Sentai.
Sentai.
Yeah.
So out of that, obviously I already know that Super Sentai reigns supreme.
I think
it's dark, bro. It's dark. It's gritty. It's the footage that we see that we like in America.
The thing with the Sentai, though, I think encouraged us to watch the American one is the fact that now we want to see how bad it is compared to it.
But there
and hopefully there's some good ones between it, like some of the main American seasons past.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I root for America while I watch these things, but America has shown me wrong. Rocky does not beat Apollo Creed. He doesn't. You know what I mean? But this podcast, this right here is an elective. This is just a special cast. Yeah. We're going on 7 years, bro. And salute to you, and I love you. The simple fact that I've never done a podcast in my entire life, and the MorphinCast was my first podcast that I've ever done.
I just saying, if you listen to the cast before it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Power Ranger fan, I told you you're going to tell me I love you soon. I said it on the cast. See, there you go.
Well, you can go fuck yourself. No, I'm joking. But, so, collectively we were just talking before, and I was like, hey, how about we do a cast of the top 10 things that makes Power Rangers Rangers to you.
And it fits because it is the 30th anniversary, and this is something that we can really go through.
The 30th anniversary special edition of what makes Power Rangers to you.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need to agree.
No, 100% not.
It's what makes your top 10 and my top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First and foremost, before it all, the fact that we are doing this hierarchies everything.
No, 100%. It's you know what? That's going to be a general thing, and I think that's going to be part of your hierarchy vote. So I will say us doing this will get out the list. Just 100%. In general, is the fact that this is something that we're still doing.
You gave me the confidence to do this on my own.
And then, and
you gave me a voice.
And it built you to do this on your own. It built us to keep our camaraderie going and also enjoying what we were doing. And I don't want this podcast at all to feel like a job, and this is something I always tell.
It's never been.
I always tell Louis.
Watching it sometimes have been.
I always tell Louis Beans as well. Like, I don't want this job. I don't want this podcast to feel like a job. I wanted to enjoy myself. I want it like that. If we do something, if we make something out of it, we make something out of it, and that's fine. But I'm not in it for that. I'm in it to enjoy myself and to talk to my best friends about the shit I love and the shit I care about. And that's the reason why we made these casts, because we talk about this shit all the fucking time. Right?
On a normal basis, bro. Exactly. We could be sitting at work and just be like, yo, what do you feel about
what happened yesterday?
Exactly.
No, the Thursday. Thursday night.
Talking about Batman.
Talking about Batman.
Perfect example. Go ahead.
And I just brought up the whole thing with Batman loses 70% of his fights. And we just had a conversation about it. And that's something that I always love having. I love having those conversations because it brings different mentalities to the mix. Not everyone is a fan of everybody, and it's understandably like that.
And they shouldn't be.
And not everyone is biased with characters. I feel like Batman has some of the most biased fans.
Well, because he's got longevity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, people who's been tied into it since they were little kids. They're going to be
my always thing with Batman, and that always annoyed me, is like, oh, with prep time, he'll beat him. I was like, yes, but you lose 70% of the time. So maybe that 30% may not want you to live, and they'll take you out.
And maybe that 30% makes you think more. Yeah.
Like I said with, I was talking, shout outs to Ardell. Carnage.
Ardell Shawnell from the Shaw Nation. Shout out
to him. I told him about Carnage. Like, what if Batman fought Carnage the first time?
Carnage from like Marvel Universe. Carnage.
I was like, Carnage
would eat him alive.
I was saying Carnage would not let him leave.
No, you'd kill him.
Exactly.
Murder
the only way Batman will get if he has a good distraction, but he has to find out Carnage's weakness within that time.
And he doesn't have time to ring the bells.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
As in, Carnage will go and straight after your throat kind of thing. It's like the same thing like if he fought Lobo for the first time. He fought Wolverine for the first time.
Which there's news in recent history that Jason Momoa is going to actually play Lobo.
He's going from Aquaman to Lobo. I'm fine with that.
It's cool,
he
man.
He kind of looks like him.
If DC wants to cut that universe off, why not go and collect the check, bro? Everybody's gonna watch that movie, even though a majority of people don't know who Lobo is.
You'd be surprised how much fans Lobo has. He's like Deadpool in that sense.
I understand that.
He's very popular in that sense, but he's a big 90s character.
He's not no mainstream character that deserves his own movie. He's like
He's like the mentality of Spawn.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, 100%.
He has that fan base of like Spawn, and he's also a 90s character. So he has that darkness of the 90s characters and how they used to re-raz. But talking about that, just having these conversations, but me and you personally, always had conversations about Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And when we first met each other, we always talked about like what seasons you watched, what we did, and especially when we and you learned each other, that we enjoyed it.
The first thing that you iterated to me is like, bro, you ain't never seen Space.
Yeah.
Like you cut off at Turbo.
Yeah.
And you ain't never seen Space. Yeah. I'm like, nah, bro. Like I ain't never seen it. It's
Turbo's
like,
one of the worst seasons.
Because that's what steered me away of Power Rangers.
And I think that's where the idea of the podcast started.
Yeah. I 100%, 1,000% grateful. Yeah. I gained a voice out of this. I gained confidence out of this. I've always had that to myself. I'm a person who has a gift to gab, but now I can put it on wax. You know what I mean? So this podcast right here, this one edition of the MorphinCast, I was thinking about, we were just collectively talking, and let's categorize. I know it's hard to do it in 10. I can do it in 20. You know what I mean? But categorize what Power Rangers in its entirety.
Yeah.
Now, westernized Power Rangers, not Super Sentai.
Yeah.
That's for a whole other thing. Up to this point in time, we've seen everything up to me collectively seen up to Beast Morphers, and I'm okay to have a conversation of what Power Rangers mean to me. You know what I mean? So this is what this cast is about. It's not going to be no prolong. We don't need to. There's no theme. There's no nothing but what you feel is Power Rangers.
Is just shoot the shit with a topic.
Exactly.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
So what you would do? All right. So number 10.
Number 10 for me. 1,000%. Like bro, it took me so long to think about this. Ninja Storm is number 10 to me.
Ninja Storm? Okay.
Now, Ninja Storm is arguably one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah.
And I've said that numerous times throughout. Mm-hmm. That was the first season, besides, like, I love Space. It went from Space to Ninja Storm to me. Ninja Storm was the first thing that was in the next generation that, like, smacked. That was, like, that had the characters. It had the storyline. It had the villain, Luthor. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? It was the first thing that really intrigued me. Don't get me wrong. Time Force was right before it.
Yeah.
But Ninja Storm was the first thing that I fell in love with.
Yeah.
And I think that is a real thing to throw out there. And, like, I know you probably thought that it would probably be, like, further up on the list, but this is literally number 10 to me.
Yeah.
Because I got other things that matter. Now, this is no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
This could be themes. It could be Zords. It could be characters. It could be shows. It could be anything you want it to be. What is Power Rangers to you at number 10?
My number 10 will be the Hasbro buying Power Rangers.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
It's brought a whole different dimension to what Power Rangers could be, and I believe Hasbro in general believes in the brand. And I think they're trying to go in their own route and then making it more. They're doing the suits and things like that. They're kind of taking away. They're trying to go away from the Japanese footage.
I know that you were a fan of it when Hasbro bought it from Bandai.
Yeah.
I know you were a fan of it. You were like, yo, Hasbro makes good toys, bro.
And the figures, I think, especially when we started collecting the Lightning figures, they were great.
Yeah, until they changed
some of the faces, not so much.
Listen, man, you can only throw a dart with your eyes closed so many times and it hits the board.
But there's some very big gems out there, like the Red Ranger and Zeo Ranger 6, the Gold Ranger.
Yeah.
The fucking Lord Draken, the third version, the one that's up there. Lord Draken himself, all the Green Rangers ones they did, the Red Ranger the ones they did a lot of great ones, and I'm happy that the variety of what they did was cool, especially because we've been watching everything. So Dino Charge we know, Beast Morphers I kind of know because I did watch the first season. So a lot of the ones
I bought the Beast Morpher toys.
Yeah.
And I never seen it, but my niece knew what it was.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my god, you got this!" Yeah. So like, Hasbro did something that ties in. It ushered in a next generation.
And also, I give Hasbro credit because they were willing to go back some seasons.
They did it right
to do something else. So, Beast Morphers was before Dino Charge. So in the Sentai versions, it was before Dino Charge. So they went back 2 seasons to do a new season. So they went back to footage of like 2 seasons before. They never do that. So that was the first time they did it. So that was something I would say. And then also, I think it's in good hands for Hasbro. Because Hasbro knows how to embrace the figures. They know how to embrace the story.
They've been around forever.
I do have my issues with it. I do not like the windowless boxes and things like that.
Gentlemen. We stopped.
Not no more, because I pre-ordered the fucking Mazagoth.
Yes, but no, you did it for specific characters that need to be in your collection. We're no longer just buying everything.
I think that's where it's gonna go, but then I'm gonna line up trying to close up.
Also,
the gaps.
And it goes with the Marvel series as well. Hasbro got the line for that, and they just look bad. How do you even know that you're pulling a Mesogog out of the fucking thing?
As long as you pre-order it, you know.
Maybe you should buy 2 of them and pull one out.
If you're buying from Target, you have a mystery.
Yeah, you have to. And I'm an avid Target shopper.
And so. I've seen many. So shout outs to the WWE Elite figures. I've seen many mixed boxes of figures.
The last time I was here, we walked into Target.
It was a
right
John
down the road
Cena.
From here. What block is it in Manhattan? Where are we at right now?
30. It's on 29th and
29th. And what figure did we see?
We saw Bailey in a Molly Holly.
Hilarious.
And then we saw John Cena in a Bradshaw.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So that shit happened. So
that's your number.
Tennis Hasbro, yeah.
So my number 9 is just it's the classic Megazord.
Yeah.
The thing that we grew up loving forever. The creme de la creme of Power Rangers to us. There is no better Megazord to me, besides the Dragonzord, of course. You know what I mean? They kind of mesh together. But Power Rangers to me is a team of superheroes that hop in a mechanical being that whoops some ass.
Yeah.
And the Megazord represents that.
Yeah.
There is nothing better than watching the original Mighty Morphin series, and then they hop into the Megazord and get the Power Sword and kill. Even though watching back now, it's kind of lackluster.
I still love it,
but it's still amazing.
Yeah, I was always a big Godzilla person, so anything monster-wise related, I usually love that.
Yeah, not 100%, but the Megazord reigns down at number 9 to me.
So I'm gonna give you the Megazord, and the fact that I don't have to put it on my list because you mentioned it, but I'm gonna put number 9 as the Dragonzord.
I'll take it.
It's fucking Godzilla in a robot suit.
But it has a badass character with it who controls it.
And then the music. The
Dragonzord doesn't work without the Green Ranger.
Yeah, and it's also, with the Green Ranger's gonna
be If there was no Green Ranger, do you think the Dragonzord would be as pungent as he is.
But again, I'm not going to put the Green Ranger at number 9 right now. So I just put the Dragon Zord at number 9.
But I put the Megazord at number 9.
Yeah, but the characteristics of the Dragon Zord and just like his presence, and when he came in, he had a little theme song and all. He came in, he busted ass, he had missiles out of fingers, and I think he was one of the coolest looking Zords.
The Megazord was the first Transformer sequence outside of Transformers that I loved.
Okay. I will say that's not the first.
No, but it's the one that resonates more outside of Transformers to me. No. I mean, because there's been other shows.
Yeah.
But we all watched Transformers growing up. Mm-hmm. This was one that resonated that you were like, that's dope.
Yeah.
So that's my number 9. It's the Megazord, the original Mighty Morphin Megazord.
And Dragon Zord number 9.
Yeah, it's arguably, yeah.
It's number 8.
Number 8. For me, Kendall Morgan.
Let's go on.
And the reason why I've been a big fan of this woman.
Yeah.
She is... So this is the first character.
This is Dino Charge.
So this is the first character in this list of mine that matters to me. Because this person is a mixture of Billy, mixture of Kim, mixture of Jason, mixture of everybody. This woman had confidence in herself. She didn't have to become a Power Ranger. She could have just been behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But she literally was hands-on, verbatim, every single second of the way, and kicked ass. And she had a dope-ass suit. She was the Purple Ranger, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
there's like 3.
I love Kendall Morgan. Like, I swear to you, I've had many of conversations with people.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, who's your top favorite Ranger? Yo, Kendall Morgan is always at the top of my list. Yeah. Because she did so much, and she gets no respect for what she did.
She's a great character.
She's a great character. So number 7 to you.
Number 8. It would be number 8.
Yeah, number 8
for me. So number 8 will be... So Hasbro goes into the Lightning Collection and shit like that. So I'm just going to put that all in one thing. So number 8 will be...
You're going to say the original Bandai? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. He ain't gonna do it.
Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
The video game.
The fighting game.
Yes.
That came out for PlayStation.
But you keep whooping my ass. I beat you a couple times.
I'll let you.
No, that's so fucked up. He's like, you're a novice.
I wanted you to keep playing.
Which is a hint to a ninja right there. You're a novice, which is...
If I whoop your ass all the time, you ain't going to want to play no more. So
I think I whooped your ass pretty good, though.
I give you a couple wins, and you're like, okay, I have confidence, and then I go beast mode.
No. You know what?
I'm joking, but it's a fun game. It's a really good game, and I think it became a better game every single as long as it's been out. I'm looking forward to part 2. They didn't mention that they were working on part 2. So the people that made the game are people that were behind. They were like big Street Fighter tournament people.
What's the app game though?
It's kind Legacy Wars. So you gotta give same thing. So you gotta give credit to Legacy Wars.
Yes,
Legacy
they're the ones that started,
and it's still going to this day.
Yeah,
but I prefer Battle for the Grid because I have control more of the character,
and you don't gotta pay for shit.
And that too. Well, you got to pay for shit, but
not like
But they brought they did a good storyline. They did a good story mode. They did a lot of things into that game, and the fight mechanics became a lot better while it was coming out.
I mean, if you grew up loving Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, the beat 'em up games, Tekken, stuff like that.
It's a hybrid of DBZ Fighter and Marvel's Capcom. Like it's a hybrid of that. Like it's partner team ups and
it's like Injustice and stuff like that.
It's very good combo system.
It brought a story to it.
Yeah, it's a very good combo system, and they took advantage of Boom Studios and used their storyline for it.
Hey man, I respect the shit out of it.
So that's my number 8.
All right. So where am I at? 7. SPD. SPD is number 7 to me. And SPD is arguably the greatest westernized American saga of Power Rangers. It holds everything that's true to the Power Rangers to its exact form and name. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's a great show. There is siding characters that involve. You know what I mean? Like Power Rangers are known for their main characters but they're not anything without their side characters.
Yeah.
Look at Dougie. Look at Dougie alone.
Yeah, Dougie, Cat, Boom.
The futuristic feel of it.
Yeah. Even the storyline between
the tie-in
West
to
and Jack and things like
SPD
that.
is
I love
amazing.
it. Again, it's my #1 season. So,
I know it is, and
I love
we
that
both. It took me our second time around to do that. That's why I mentioned Ninja Storm first, because Ninja Storm was arguably my favorite. But SPD, second time around, does hierarch it. And if you were to define Power Rangers, if that is not in your top 3, then you don't know what Power Rangers is.
Yeah.
So that's my number 7.
You're number 6? Well, number 7.
Yeah,
I'm at number 7, right?
You're at number 7.
Broken Skull.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And the Boom Studios little side.
They're hilarious.
Fucking awesome.
They're hilarious.
And so happy that, so recently we had the introduction. So this is the 30th anniversary conversation right now. You know how many people in Power Rangers Facebook land, everybody's asking, is Bulk and Skull going to be in it? I keep seeing that, and I'm like, I hope so. Yes. Please.
I think they are.
I hope so, bro.
I think they are.
I hope so, bro. Because it's not Power Rangers without them.
I love them.
It's really not. You need those side characters that don't believe.
I like a good buddy, dumb dudes. Like I do. I love Bebop and Rocksteady.
Even their theme music is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Bebop and Rocksteady.
They're just fun.
They're fun of my favorite hits.
They bring an innocent but arrogant aspect to the show.
And they brought different styles of it too, because again, in the beginning they were the bullies. Yeah. In the second part, they were the police officers. They were security. They were the hall monitors. Third part, they were fucking monkeys.
They found a way to transition themselves.
And then
up until Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, and then you also had Bulk, training Skull's son and shit in Samurai.
Yeah, later. So. Yeah, I mean, which was funny.
And then he came back also in the hybrid power, the card game that they did on Twitch. He came back as the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
So he actually became a Ranger in like mythology wise, because he is part of the Battle for the Grid.
Yeah, no, I remember him being that.
So shout outs to Bulk, he actually became a Ranger. So yeah, Bulk and Skull. I think they were a very interesting duel that made me laugh, and there was times, especially in the later seasons of season 2 and season 3, that was my highlight of watching those. So yeah, Bulk and Skull.
I respect that. So I'm on 6, right?
We're on 6 now.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
The movie, okay.
The movie was the transition from TV to the big screen. It's the first time that we got to go to the movie theaters and represent for our squad.
It was a big deal.
It was a big, and I'm talking both movies. Yeah. Like original. I'm not talking the newest one. I'm talking.
I'll add the newest one too, because I was very.
I'm talking Turbo. I'm talking.
I really liked the new movie.
I do too, and they didn't give them enough play, enough time.
I feel like it came out honestly, if they would have.
I don't think it was premature. I don't think
it was.
My
big thing with that movie was the look. Honestly, if they looked more
if the suits were better.
If the suits were better, I think the movie would have caught on more.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Because they had the storylines. They had everything.
They had the acting. And I loved the characteristics.
But
I thought they were...
Mighty Morphin the movie was the transcendence of TV to movie, which is epic. It shows the impact of the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have to acknowledge that as my number 6.
Yeah, I give that. My number 6 will be... Disney. Disney made more seasons I liked than Saban.
Okay, I see where you went with that. I was like, Disney, you're like Mickey Mouse? Like, what are you talking about?
Disney...
Iterate.
So some of my favorite Power Rangers seasons are all in Disney. And that's in general. Like,
but some of the worst are in it too.
But I'm not talking about the worst. I'm talking about my favorite ones.
But Disney has some of the worst. Man, look at Mystic Force. It's one of the worst
Mystic Force,
of our opinions. Yeah. I've talked to people
that like it,
that love it, that say that's one of the best.
I think they
ever.
had more good than bad than Saban did. I think they did better with
They started with
they started with Jungle Fury. Wild Force.
Wild Force, and then Time Force came after that.
But no, Time Force was before.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Wild Force started. We got the Forever Red episode, so that started the epic trail of the things. We got Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm was fucking fantastic, like as you said. I'm not gonna go more on that. That the return of Tommy Oliver and Dino Thunder, one of the best episodes, and one of the episodes that took Sentai into consideration of the Lost in Translation.
I respect it.
I love that episode.
I respect it. I respect it 100%.
We got my favorite season, SPD. We got Mr. Forks. We got Operation Overdrive. I'm not crazy about them.
Operation Overdrive, I actually think, is worse than Mystic Force after watching it a second time.
And those two, I could live it out.
Totally.
Because honestly, I like Wild Force. I'll take over those two.
Oh yeah.
But then we got Jungle Fury.
The only thing with Wild Force that fucked me up was the CG of the Zords.
But then we got Jungle Fury.
Yeah.
We got RJ.
Yeah.
His badass
one of the best mentors ever.
Daishi. We got fucking the chameleon chick in general in that sense. And then we got RPM, which RPM had a crazy ass storyline.
And that was the last season.
And it was
right?
also one of the few that broke the fourth wall about the explosions behind the Ranger, and I fucking love that.
Green Ranger.
I will say Disney had better seasons than Saban, and I will argue. I easily argue with that.
I feel you. So that was number 6.
That's my number 6.
Number 5 is Zanaku. Zanaku is one of the first characters.
So I'm glad I put Disney just because he's included.
No, but he's on my list. Like, he's legitimately number 5 on my list. Zanaku was one of the first henchmen that I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we have the Goldars, we have all this. This was the first one where I was like intrigued, like at the edge of my seat, what is going to happen with this character? I don't like how he turned America. I don't like the silver. I'm talking about Zanaku.
Yeah.
The fucking wolf. The original fucking wolf to me that just destroyed everybody. Burst through the stone. You know what I mean? Like, me and you both were intrigued by that character. And yes, it did end up turning to Merrick the silver. You know what I mean? But Zanaku, just the way they filmed it, and I'll give credit to Super Sentai for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it
was pretty badass in that series.
Oh my god, it was badass in both series. Yeah. You know what I mean? But Zanaku is one of the top tier henchmen. Yeah. That I can think about.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5.
My number 5 will be. I have one in my mind, and
I got one for you if you want it.
No, I got one.
I would say you would say Goldar, but because Goldar,
because
Goldar's Goldar.
I love Goldar, but he's not like a reason why I keep going back. Like, I like him as a character, but he's not a reason I keep going back. So I'll say number 5 will be. Sorry. The Psycho Rangers.
I don't want to talk about the Psycho Rangers because they are further up on my list.
The Psycho Rangers did a lot of things, and
so what I'll do?
They're wrecked to. No.
I will go off what you're going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Talk.
So the Psycho Rangers are badass. They look fucking dope.
They're the first anti-team that I believed.
Yeah.
We've had those shadow figures, the ones with the socks over their head that Lord Zed did and shit like that. The first thing that really tested the color of the Rangers.
And it was both well done in both Sentai and this.
The darkness of it.
So I'm sorry that I have to do this, and there's a slash with it because it's been the same season. So it was between Psycho Rangers and Darkonda. Darkonda was a badass in that fucking series.
So is that your 4? Like, I'll let you.
No, it's 5. It's together because they're in the
season
same
of space.
But they
also
wreck havoc in Galaxy as well.
Yes,
and they killed.
But they didn't do as good as they did in space.
And they killed
Yeah, Kendall.
Kendall.
No, not Kendall.
Kelsey.
Kelsey. And they brought Andromeda back, Astronomer back.
But the second Rangers, just the look and just how they brought them in, they had a long ass series together. Kind of reminded me of the Green Ranger 6-part series and things like that. That was the first time that I actually really enjoyed. And I think that was the reason why I wanted you to watch Space as well, is the fact that you never seen the Psycho Rangers. That's something you need to see.
Yes.
And
Dark Chondro. Thank you for that.
And Dark Chondro was just as fucked up as they were.
Dark Chondro in America is what beat the Super Sentai.
Exactly.
Dark
100%.
And I will give that.
I 100% will give that the credit.
So my number 4 is the Psycho Rangers.
Yeah.
Psycho Rangers, like, if you know anything about the Power Rangers, if you've seen the series, there is no other team that matches up with the team of the Power Rangers. You know what I mean? There's been many iterations of them trying to beat people, but the Psycho Rangers are the ones that almost completed it. And yes, you say Dark Chondro. Dark Chondro is right there with them, because he was the argumentative force behind it. You know what I mean? So my 4 is Psycho Rangers. So I don't want to iterate too much because you already eloquently put it. So
my number
3.
4.
No, you're 4. Yeah, you're 4.
My number 4. My number 4 is Jen.
Jen?
Time Force.
Time Force. I mean, she's the goat of the females.
She is number 1 in the females, and
she fights Kendall to me, but Kendall has more to her.
I think she brought the leadership of a female ranger, and I feel like she should have been the Red Ranger of that series.
Yes, I agree.
And just the fact that they didn't want a
was
guy
the leader.
in pink, and I feel like they didn't want a guy in pink, and that's the reason why she was the Pink Ranger. Other than that, she was a badass. She was one of my favorite Rangers.
But she was blinded by love too, though. You know, that's a
weakness. But she was a badass.
She was. She was the hierarchy of females. The only person that matters besides her, to me, Kendall Morgan.
Yeah, because honestly, on my list it would be Jen and then Kendall Morgan,
and then Kim afterwards. But Kim,
as I go through as we go into the series, I feel like there's other Rangers over her.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like there's other Rangers better than her.
I just know that in my love of what we've been watching, Kendall Morgan needed to be on my list.
No,
so.
I agree. And that's why Jen's mine.
And I know you respect it.
No,
and Kendall Morgan.
I love
and
Kendall
Jen
Morgan.
was going to be on my list, but
I still want to figure out Kendall Morgan.
Of course, bro. Why wouldn't you?
We almost got all the Dino Charge Rangers. I want Kendall Morgan. We still haven't got her yet.
I agree.
We got pink, we got green, we got gray, we got gold, we got red,
we got everything, bro.
Blue, we got
black. Multiple Trinis. All right.
Yeah. We got Coda, so Kendall Morgan should be around.
So what are we down at number 3?
You're on 3,
Lord Zed. Lord Zed is the first time that I got scared when it came to a childhood TV show.
Yeah.
And I looked at him like that motherfucker is bad.
I'll give you the credit. I give you the love.
Lord Zed changed, even though he was in the wrong realm of Mighty Morphin. You know what I mean? They ushered in the Thunderzords. It was episode, fucking 15, 16 of season 2, and it went to 55, and then the season 3 is what killed Mighty Morphin. But Lord Zed single-handedly, parents were turning the TVs off.
Yeah.
Like, you can't deny that character.
Yeah.
He looked bad. He still looks badass. Still to this day. You look at that character and it's like, wow. That's like, to me, it's like the Ninja Turtles movie. Yeah. The way that the costumes were is the way Lord Zed is to me.
Yeah.
It's flawless.
It's good.
His voice, his power. I mean, he ended up being a bitch at the end, yes, but they had to Americanize it.
He was hilarious, though.
But they had to Americanize it.
He's back,
and R.I.P. to him, though.
He's back.
Yeah, but the guy who played him, R.I.P. to him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Rest in peace. But he's back in
I don't even want to hear all
the
that
Cosmic
shit.
Fury.
All right, well, we'll talk about that later. I know his son appeared.
He was fucking sick, too. They made him look fucking...
I haven't seen anything
he's
about
very
it,
sharp.
so I'm intrigued by it.
His kid looked retarded, but he looks very sharp.
That's what's up. So what's your number 3?
My number 3. I just had it in my mind, too. My number 3 will be the music.
That's my number 2.
The music
for original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I think in music in general, I think like they always captured the fight scenes. They always captured the thing, especially in the original. The original, 100%. But you also got the same thing in Zeo.
You see it?
Yeah.
Number 2.
But you also
Mighty
got
Morphin Power Ranger theme.
But you also got the same thing in Zeo. You got the same thing. Zeo had a.
They had energetic rock and roll music.
I will say, I like Zeo's theme more than a lot of themes.
But the thing is with Mighty Morphin, you can play that anywhere and everybody knows what it is.
100%. But
it's like playing Stairway to Heaven.
But I even like the side songs, like the Go Green Ranger song. Yeah. I like the. You will get us on our sides, we will get.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I like those side songs, and that. Shout outs to the video games. They always like kind of had the at least the themes and shit like that. I liked the actual original theme tune of Power Rangers, that they had the whole wording, the song before it.
I love how we're on the same page though. Like our ushering into the top tier. Yeah, that's your 3. My number 2 is the Mighty Morphin theme. Yeah. Literally goes down as one of the greatest television theme songs ever in history. Yeah. It legitimately, you might not, like, hypothetically, you've never seen Power Rangers growing up, but you know. Yeah. It was epic. Yeah. It was powerful. It made the show better than what it was. Yeah. The morphing scenes. Confusion. The morphing scenes with the dragon with all the Zords going together. It was like there is nothing in TV history. Name another. I mean, I can name a couple of TV shows, theme songs that amount to this. Yeah. But this is like top 5 greatest
like I
TV
said,
shows.
Within this show itself, they had great music as well. And even the silly shit was kind of funny, like the confusion.
No, but it still had the same theme.
But
you know what I mean?
You also had like the Green Ranger song, you had the White Ranger song, you had that fucking Zord song when they had the whole thing.
You know what I mean? But it's still part of that.
We don't talk about Mystic Force because the theme song. But I think everyone else, like, they had a lot of good theme songs. They had a lot of good music, and it flowed with the show. Like, that's a good thing about it, and that's one thing like that. So
that was my number 2. What's your number 2?
My number 2.
Because yours, the themes was 3 for you. 2 was for me. So what's your 2?
My number 2.
This is a man thinking hard right now. Yeah. You guys can see him right now. Mm-hmm. He spoke a lot. And now he's bringing it out.
My number 2.
I love the fact that you brought Broken Skull into it. Like, I do. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it wasn't even a thought in my mind. And then when you said it, I was like, why didn't I think about that?
Boom Studios.
Boom Studios, the comic books?
The comic books.
Beautiful.
They're amazing.
They're
very well writing. They're very well written. They have amazing artwork.
They did Go-Go as well?
They did Go-Go. They did like that. They're part of the series.
Crossover with IDW with the Turtles. Check our previous cast.
The Soul of the Dragon, the one with Andros and Astronomer. That was really good, and you need to read that. I bought that shit because I wanted to read it.
I got your link to the Comicology.
Yeah. The Pink Ranger Slayer shit. There's so many good writings, so much good books. Like, honestly, they could just transfer this on the TV show or anime. I will love it because they're so good. They're so well written.
Bro, they should transition the Power Rangers into a cartoon.
You know what's crazy?
And haven't we been saying that for years?
What this comic does is they bring the personalities and the characteristics of the new movie and bring the love of the old series into it.
Because it's the physical
look
also, of them, but the attitude of it. I see what you're saying.
I think it just brings more drama, it brings more story, it brings more badassing to certain characters. Like, Lord Zed is not someone to fuck with in this.
I would hope not.
Rita Repulsa is not someone to fuck with.
I mean, she wasn't someone to fuck with in Super Sentai.
Lord Draken.
Ventura? Come on.
Vendora? Lord Draken. Fucking, they had so many good villains. The whole Omega Ranger series. The whole bringing back Jason, Trini, and Zack and have their own fucking Power Rangers themselves as the Omega Rangers, and have the fucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the other side, and they teaming up and shit. Having the Bat and the Sun Green Ranger fucking be an actual fucking character. So
and be an action character.
There's
in physical form. We're talking Bat and the Sun.
They were very creative with these comics, and I wish these comics are like, I want people to read them because they're so fucking good. So Comixology, they have everything to read for free. As long as you pay $5, you can read for free.
Pay $70 for the year. Call it a day.
Yeah. Look at it, watch it, read it. It's fucking amazing, and it's been. I think it brought a lot of people back into Power Rangers because just that mentality of
even people that never watch Power Rangers who read comics got interested.
Even the side stories of the Black Ranger being the Green Ranger first.
Yeah,
that shit was fucking cool.
It's dope. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, and then you also have team ups with Justice League and Power Rangers, things like that, and
Boom Studios is hierarchy when it comes to Power Ranger
and that's
comic
number
books.
2. Yeah,
1000%.
Number 1,
Tommy Oliver. It's a given. He's the greatest ever. Shouts out to Jason David Frank. R.I.P. to Jason David Frank. I ain't gonna go into details with that. Yeah. You've said that on multiple episodes.
And the whole first half hour of this.
No, not this one. It was the last one.
Guys, yeah.
Last one. Tune into our last podcast. But Tommy, now I watched Power Rangers before Tommy Oliver was in it. Once Tommy Oliver came in it, I was 2,000%. I was already 1,000% in. I'm 2,000% in it because I'm Tommy. He's Tommy. He's the greatest Ranger of all time. He transcended time. And I'm not talking Jason David Frank. I'm talking Tommy Oliver. He is the most consistent character in all of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
He is dubbed the Power Ranger. And there's nothing more I can say about that.
I was gonna do the same, but I will do mine a little separate. Just the fact that this is a memory I have, and this is probably one of my favorite TV, like, just continuations in general. So that would be the Green Ranger series.
The 5-part Green Ranger miniseries.
So this is a shout out to Tommy Oliver, and that's again, he'll be number 1 with my connection. Just the fact that you're number 1, I will give the little description and stuff like that.
But the fact that we acknowledge, he's
my number 1. But I'm putting this in because
you talk about the series of lines of episodes.
So I put this as number 1 because this is the one I want everyone to watch.
You have to.
This is the 6-part series that started the 5-part series that started a whole.
Unless you put in the White Ranger too, but
it started a whole new trend with things. This is the first time we actually saw a bad guy that looked just like the good guys. This is the first time
that was a good guy, but got possessed by the evil.
But he looked like He looked like the good guys.
Exactly.
He was in a Ranger suit.
How many people iterated and emulated this character throughout life?
This is the reason why I picked these 6 episodes, the 5 episodes, to be important. These are probably the most, if you go by kids' TV shows and things like that, these 6 videotapes are probably the highest selling
ever.
I had them. Everyone I knew had them.
I'll give you the 6th one with his instructional video while he's fighting.
Keep saying 6. I don't know why he's
5.
the 6 Ranger. It's 5 Rangers.
Yes.
So the 5 VHS tapes for the Green Ranger series.
And I still have 2 of them. I
have all 5.
I thought I had all 5, but I still only got 1 and I got 3.
I have 1 through 5.
But they got lost 2 times. You know what I mean?
But I think,
and I only know that because I just moved a year ago.
I think this is one of the best, like, continuation storylines that went straight through. It showed the Rangers feel lost. This show of Rangers feel like they can't do anything to stop it. One thing I say a lot in the show, and some things that discredited me from other seasons, is the lack of loss. They don't feel lost. They always win things.
But it's classic 90s.
No. And that's in general, like, you actually feel that the Rangers actually fucking lost.
Yeah, those 5 series.
And then when I was watching, I was like, oh man, what the fuck are they gonna do? And I felt so much love into that series. I felt so much into that series. I was like fucking sitting down waiting for the fucking episode. Like, I remember watching it when it first fucking aired, and me watching the first episode, and the first time he appeared and fucked them all up, and I'm like, what the fuck are we gonna do next?
These guys are unbeatable.
And then I was so into those 5 that my mom bought me the VHS because I kept renting them.
Yes.
Like every time we rent the video, she gave me a choice. I rent for a Green Ranger part.
I share your passion for it.
And then she was like, you know what? You make this costing more than me just buying you it, so she just bought me it. But it's something that I feel like if you're going to go into Power Rangers, this is a series that you need to watch.
Watch the first 1.5 seasons of Mighty
But this in general, this is a staple to what Power Rangers is. It kind of brings the whole...
It's the image of what Power Rangers is.
It's the whole message of what Power Rangers is within these 5 episodes. And it shows
it's the nostalgia, and we don't like... To now, since we've been through it all, we don't like to bank on nostalgia. But this right here, the Green Ranger miniseries, 1,000%, bro.
You bring in the Rangers being confident and fighting a person that looked just like them.
They won every battle.
Him defeating them with no hesitation, going into the Zord, picking them up at 2, taking over their Zord,
having the dopest fucking Zord to beat them up.
Yeah.
While standing at the top of it, like, I don't even need to control this motherfucker.
Then going to the Zordon's fucking hideout and destroying him and things like that.
Because he had the coin.
And it got everything, like, so messed up. And then how the Rangers are going to survive this and things like that. It has all those parts of what Power Rangers
even the transition from bad to good is epic.
So it has everything what... That full 5-part series has everything what Power Rangers should be.
Has everything what a story should tell.
Yeah, and that's my number
1. 100%. We ain't gonna go too much further onto this.
Yeah.
That was our top 10. Thank you for participating in it. This was a random thought between us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is what matters to us. This is what makes Power Rangers to us.
Yeah.
The people listening might not agree. You might have your own opinion. You know what? How about you put your comments in and tell us what your favorite parts of Power Rangers is? How about that? At the end of the day, it's nothing but love.
Yeah.
Everybody be safe.
These are our opinions, and these are our own opinions. If you have your opinions, put the comments up.
I think collectively, me and you, literally through the surface of what Power Rangers is.
I feel like we added stuff that we wanted to add stuff to.
But bro, there's things that I resonate with, and there's things that you resonate with.
No, like,
but we all come together.
I think our top 10 blends together.
Yeah.
As in, I feel like you said things that I would have added to my list,
and you definitely said things
that you would have added to your list.
100%.
100%. I think that.
But we had to pick and choose.
But my number 1 is the fact that you said James David Frank, and I went with something else. Just the fact that I just wanted that 100%, that top 5.
I said
series.
Tommy Oliver, and you said the story of Tommy Oliver, and that is important to know.
That's Power Rangers. That's 100% what Power Rangers is. Is that 5-part series?
The fight between good and evil.
Yeah.
And that evil doesn't always have to reign.
Yeah.
That good can prevail.
And
it's the hope of it.
It's the whole thing.
How many times did Tommy go back to the dark side?
Yeah.
1,000,000 times after.
But this is the best one. This is the best one, and also you got Jason getting trapped by they trapped the leader and fighting Goldar.
We can go on forever. We can go on forever.
So
but we're gonna wrap this cast up. Short, sweet, simple. I am Tenacious T, aka Tatsuku Wop. This is Mercury with the Mic. You can find us on. I was giving you the
Instagram, Troublemaker Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. All Mercury with the Mic. You can also follow me on TikTok, Mercury with the Mic. I do beers and figures. Definitely check them out. You probably get some Power Ranger figures in there too, so definitely check them out. I'm planning to open everything, so little by little I'll open things. I'll put things in Ziploc bags and things like that. But yeah, so you'll see some figures, you see some beers. Comment and like what you like, and follow me. That's great. Follow Red Tech Link on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and WordPress.
Follow our other cast.
Shout outs
Louis Beans.
To Louis Beans, our producer. And then shout outs to our other cast, the Oz Show Shout, the Gamer Rage, the Not Trekkie, the MorphinCast, and also the Get Better I Swear and the Wrestling Babble, the weekly podcast that we do every week. So definitely check those out as well. Follow Tenacious T. You
can follow Tenacious T at Tenacious T RC Inc. on Twitter. You can also follow me on my own personal Instagram page at The Real Tatsuku Wop. Also follow the Popcorny Podcast streaming on Spotify, and SoundCloud. Also go and follow Popcorny 1975 Instagram page and Popcorny 1975 TikTok. All pop culture, all everything. Always a shouts out to Time Warp, to Retro Relics. Always a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island, in 3 separate locations: one in Smithtown, one in Miller Place, one in Patchogue, satisfying all your retro video game needs. Also a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store in Lake Grove, Smith Haven Mall. $20 for adults, $10 for kids. Play all you want, get a stamp, go out, rock out. Always a shouts out to everybody who has tuned in for the last 7 years that we have been doing this. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much.
Peace out, ladies, and always remember,
fuck Zordon.
See, he was not in none of our top 10.
He's not in my top 100.
Damn. He's a bald,
floaty head
that does no shit. Peace out, ladies, and always remember, follow the Jinky stuff.